Hey, it's KingsDecree, and I'm back with some more Golden Henselt, or Henselt, whatever. I'll get it right one day. And wouldn't you know it, I'm going up against a rank 15 Golden Henselt too. Okay. I'm not gonna restart. I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna take the loss. I'm just gonna roll with it. Okay. So this deck looks pretty good. All right, this hand rather. So actually, as you can immediately see, I've got Gwent tracker going on now. Before I wasn't, particularly sold on it. I've seen the overlay and all that good stuff, but I personally was never particularly infatuated with it, especially since it takes up a lot of screen real estate, as you can see. But I think the thing that really sold me was the stat tracker, as I'll kind of go into a little bit later. But right now, I'm 25 and 16, with some minor adjustments over the course of today, a little bit last night. Okay, now this is a big bluff. Okay, is he gonna go for a promote on those 3/3 units, or is he gonna get one more? Do I catch him with the Lacerate, or do I wait for bigger payoff? Oh man. Okay, so my previous complaint with Henselt, right? If you watched my previous video, basically my deal was, I went from Radovid, a relatively control-y kind of deck with uppercut spam, and had almost from the get-go, it was a very consistent deck, and I really enjoyed playing with it. And I never really had, it's not that I didn't have to think a lot, but the strategies therein wasn't all that complicated. Going over to Henselt, even though it's within the same faction, it's really complicated. There's so many like small tactics, and like there's so much more mind games, I think, playing this deck cover type than any other deck right now, except for maybe, I don't know, like Skulltall Ambush. But that's a discussion for another time. Not for me. I don't play any Skulltall, at least not yet. Not until the wipe comes through, and then I'll probably pick up Skulltall and the other one, monsters, and there's one more I'm forgetting, but whatever. One more deck that probably doesn't get. Oh, that's right. It was a Nilfgaard. I'll play that eventually, just not anytime soon. Okay. So he's definitely going. He's about to go off here. So I think I'm gonna go for my own reinforced thingy. No, he went for the I do that exact same strategy. I was hoping he wasn't gonna use it against me though. I think I can still catch up to him by this point though, if I just hold on a little bit longer. And if I play King of Beggars, I can get another. No, it pulled Roach. Oh my, that's terrible. That's really bad. Salvageable, but pretty bad. Just play one more poor infantry, man. Come on, I want to catch you. No, what is he doing? Oh my, I'm just getting annihilated. I come in here and I'm like, man, I'm really liking Gold Henselt now. And I get completely annihilated. Oh man, what do I even do by this point? I'm like, I don't think I can catch up to him by this point. It's so frustrating. Okay, so maybe this deck isn't perfect, but I will never play Reaver Scout as it is right now. I think I've had like my worst experience with Reaver Scouts, and that's why I don't have it in my deck list. I instead went with I have 3. I'm pretty sure I'll look at the deck later in more detail, but I think I'm running a relatively unique Triss Butterfly spell. No, that's not unique. But maybe I know Siri is. I don't see that in any Gold Henselt decks. And then the other one that I completely forgot. Oh yeah, Dandelion. Dandelion's a big one. Dandelion allows me to get some consistent value on the board. And anything he gets out of this, I get a bonus too.
Tell me you jest.
So back to what I was saying before I got annihilated. Yeah, I was like, oh man, this deck is so complicated. I don't know if I can ever learn this. It's just too much trouble. And then, I played like 30 or 40 games now by this point, and I'm starting to get it. It's still really complicated. It's so difficult to play this deck well, I think, in my opinion. Do I medic here? Or do I try and go for Igni? I think if I first light out this RNG and I can just medic anything that goes to the graveyard. Yeah. I don't particularly like relying on first light rally to get my cards in like a third round or whatever it is. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he blew most of his combo. He used to promote. Does he run more than one promote? I wonder how common it is for people to run double promote or even triple promote. Or if it's just kind of like a one-off. Because see, the thing is, if you can't get the synergy off with promote, then it's such a dead card. One, you need to have something on the field. Two, there's no guarantee that turning into gold even gives you that much value outside. Excuse me, outside of that 2 plus 2, whatever. Oh man, he's setting up for another full combo too. I was kind of unfortunate that he didn't pull into poor infantry. I think that I had to go all in on these siege towers and hope for the best. Although I probably should have went medic, and then Nenike, the tutor out one. I don't know if tutor is the right word, but it sounds right to me. To specifically pull a particular card out of my deck or graveyard, as it were. Why is Yennefer the bane of my existence? You know, when I saw that card got its huge nerf where it can only target one, you know, I just about leapt out of my chair with joy. And then they not only do they double back on that and go back, but they only reduced her by 1 strength. Feels bad, man. Do I just go for another medic by this point? Yeah, that's 4 HP. 4 strength. Okay, so I pretty much have to go for the melee row gold.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Oh, that's one thing I don't have that most others have. I don't have that Ulcer's double cross or whatever it is. Okay, so I pretty much just have to go for it then. Do I? Yeah, I'm about to get annihilated by what's her face. That damn Yennefer. God, I hate Yennefer. Even though I used to run that in this deck, I actually took it out. But I used to run Yennefer, and I just hate going up against. I hate going up against this card.
If I live to see it.
Oh man, he's getting ready. Okay, I think I need to get rid of this. I need to get rid of this now. At least damper the value a little bit. But yeah, man, I'm really changing my tune on Golden Henselt here. No, you gotta be kidding me. This guy, I feel like he's tech to destroy Golden Henselt with the way he's playing. Ooh, oh yes, I can promote these. That's amazing. And unless he has like a D-bomb, he's not gonna be able to deal with it either. I might actually be able to win this. That'd be pretty great. Okay, so I'm ahead a little bit. He only has 1 row that can even ignite, so I have no choice. Am I actually gonna win this? That'd be so great. Earlier today, I think I beat someone at like the 1200 spot. Oh my god, did I actually win? What the hell? That's ridiculous. What do you have left in his hand? Holy crap. Scrapped by the skin of my damn teeth, dude. That's great. I fully expected that loss. Feels good though. That's kind of the thing, like it just kind of comes out of nowhere with all the value that it gets, and having like 2 promotes so you can make sure to protect your siege towers. It's so damn powerful. I almost feel that it's overpowered, but part of me still thinks like, man, this deck is so hard to play, and it's pretty counterable in certain situations, but once you can get rolling, it's just so hard to stop. So this is the Gwent tracker in case you haven't used it. Right now, I'm pretty much just... It has its deck tracker and, you know, some other features like showing the banished cards, what rank your opponent is. That's all kind of cool. The thing I really like is being able to track my casual play rank stats without actually having to, you know, input this all into a spreadsheet. So that's great. It's just kind of like a exe file that you run along with Gwent. Right now, 26 and 16, 62% win rate. That's gone up recently because of some changes I made, which I'll explain in a moment. Not doing so great against monsters, doing pretty good against Nilfgaard, which is kind of surprising because Nilfgaard is a tough matchup for me. It always feels like it goes down to the wire in those games. or Northern Realms, it's been mostly going up against Golden Henselt, so I guess I'm just kind of edging out ahead. Maybe it's because of my deck choices, maybe it's just because I've put more time into this relatively new archetype, and now I'm just kind of, getting a little bit ahead. Skulltao, I have no idea why I'm doing so good against this. Maybe it's because all the people that were playing Skulltao that were kicking my ass has switched or something, or they're just not playing, or maybe I'm just not running into them in casual. And I'm just playing in casual because I don't want to deal with ranked woes right now. I will eventually transition though. And then Skelliger just 50-50. But yeah, last time I was playing, Skulltao just wrecked me. I'm surprised I'm coming back from that. Okay, so onto the deck list. Deck builder. Okay, so it's Henselt, of course. You need that card to make any of this work. You got the Point of Victory, so it spawns 2 copies. It's, like I said before, pretty easy or relatively easy to counter. There are a lot of cards in the game that do 3 damage, and then you have Lacerate that will clear the entire melee row basically of infantry scouts. And then if you have a whole bunch of scouts on the melee row, it can also be scorched or ignied. That's kind of the reason why I teched in Dandelion, because Dandelion will add to, or Dandelion and Triss Butterfly Spell. So these 2 guys kind of work in tandem to make my creature, or to make my plays more difficult to get rid of. So for example, if I Triss Butterfly Spell Dandelion can no longer be taken out by that Silver Drake card. He can still be taken out by Elzer's Thunder, but except for Skulltao, not really anyone plays that. So he'll stick around. Similarly, I have lots of unit cards, so every time they get played, they get a little bit of a buff, and it makes them just that much more difficult to take out. Particularly with Poor Infantry, it only buffs the first one in that set, so it makes it much more difficult to smite or igni them off that row. And then by the time they figure out how to deal with it, you've already got the promote down or the leader ability going on, so then they can't ever do anything about it unless they have D-bomb, which that's only happened a couple of times. I think of my 40-ish or so games in the past last night, I think it's happened maybe 2 or 3 times, one of which lost me the game. But something I've noticed people are doing is that they're D-bombing really early. You should save your D-bomb for later, because that's when it hits hard, and then I'll overcommit to try and make this work, not expecting a D-bomb, and then D-bomb completely makes me lose the round, right? Roach, of course, just crazy amounts of synergy with all these gold cards. I actually haven't seen a lot of people play Roach. They've been instead opting for things like Decoy, the Silver Drake. Some are going with Cleaver. But I really like Roach in this deck. Really, I just like Roach in general. He's just that he's not like he doesn't have a noticeably big impact on the game round to round, but I'm sure if you tracked how many points he generated over the course of an entire game over 1,000 games, you would see that, oh wow, this guy is actually this Roach card is actually incredible. Also, some people are going with Smite, but I have Igni. Igni is so damn good. I love that card. Siri, that's just to help me win that round 2. Siri with the deck bonus of +2 on gold strength, plus all the gold synergy on my card, so it's never a dead card. Plus Roach makes it an auto include on this deck, in my opinion. I think you could maybe, if you don't have Siri, or maybe you just don't want to put Siri in your deck, you could possibly go with something like Prince Dennis just to kind of pass that round 2. If you even want to pass round 2. Maybe you just want to go all in on trying to finish for round 1 and 2. But seeing as how Skelliger, which is the class you'd never want to go to round 3 with optimally, since they're kind of rotating out a little bit because they got a lot of nerfs in this recent patch, I'm not too worried about going to round 3 as often as much as I used to be. I don't particularly like this the Gold Drake. I'm just gonna call it Silver Drake and Gold Drake because I will never pronounce those names right. I don't like this card. I think it's a little bit too difficult to try and get working. Sometimes it can hit big, but I think it's just an awkward thing to just kind of play around. I don't need another cog in the wheel that's making this deck more difficult to play. Yennefer is a really solid choice if you have a Yennefer that you play in all your decks. Personally, I think I put in Triss Butterfly Spell instead. I think that was the choice I made when I took out Yennefer. Yennefer can be powerful. I don't know. I don't like her personally. I don't put in Bloody Baron. He's pretty much ruined by this point. Not being able to Ninake or Shawnee back the Leverkin just makes it worthless. And like Dandelion pretty much has the Leverkin effect anyway, or all this gold synergy, and then you know, Trish Butterfly. I feel like there's no reason to run Bloody Baron. The nerf hit him really hard. Although maybe it should have. Should you have one card that you play your entire deck around? Maybe not. So maybe it was a good nerf. I don't know. I think they could nerf. I think they should have kept the. I think they should have kept Leverkin. You should be able to revive the Leverkin, but maybe they should have nerfed either its stats or the Bloody Baron's base stats. I feel like it was kind of heavy-handed the way they dealt with that. I mean, it's not heavy-handed in the sense that it's bad design, but they should have raised maybe the Bloody Baron's strength or the Leverkin strength a little bit. It's just there's something's not working here. It's never worth it to, in my opinion, to run Leverkin anymore, especially with the competition that the gold slot has. I'd almost reckon just playing Garalth instead. 8, 11, almost. John Tallis, and I don't really care for that card. And then Zoltan, I think is an okay option. If you have that, I believe one of the cards buffs all your units. So you could use that to buff all your units and then gold them. But I think that's too many levels. I think that's a very win more card in the deck that tries to get things golded. It could be an interesting tech if this archetype becomes more popular. Then you play your gold card, you weaken all theirs. By the time they gold it, it's weakened already, right? I don't know. Maybe this card is on my radar. That's what I'm trying to say. You could put a D-bomb in if you're going up against a lot of this kind of deck. I think I would take out Margarita. It's a weird card. I feel like it's a lightning rod for removal, which is kind of why I like it, because I don't think the effect is actually all that great, unless you're specifically going for that like round 3 mega combo where you get you promote or Henselt a whole row of melee, and you get like 20 of these little Bard Adepts, and then you promote it, and then you just have like you go up to 170 points. I did that once so far. It's pretty crazy, but I think it's really unreliable and easy to counter. But it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm keeping it in for now, but I think I may switch it out with D-Bomb if I go up against too much Golden Henselt and I need a way to deal with that deck archetype. Over into Bronze, right? It's pretty standard for one first light, just in case. It's never a dead card because it has a rally. But sometimes in the very rare event that I actually go up against some kind of weather deck, I have some way to come back from that. It's just a 1-card tech. I may take it out, but I'm not sure what I would take it out for. Maybe like a Mana Core Venom to counter some Golden Henselt, because you can just get rid of all their infantries at once, right? Or their medics. Promote, I only have 2 of them in at the moment. I wouldn't be against the idea of 3, but I definitely want more than 1. Because Golden Henselt, you want to try and gold your Reinforced Siege Towers, and you want to try and gold your infantries, right? You only get 1 activation of the leader ability, but you have to win 2 rounds, right? Having in 1 promote is a little bit too low of a chance to actually have 1 more, but having 2 is just the sweet spot. And sometimes I even keep 2 promotes in my hand so that I can go for the gold the infantry, and then use the Golden Henselt on another round when I just have a bunch of random units all stacked on 1 row, right? Also, it helps to be able to choose between golding just the siege tower or the entire siege line that also has the ballista. And the ballista is another card that I've teched in a little bit recently. I'm not really sure if it's gonna stay. Before I would have either Redanian Knight, Light Cavalry, the Light Horse, or Redanian Knight, but I figure I should try and or the Heavy Cavalry, Cavalry. I don't know why that word's so hard to say. The Dunbanner dude. And I'm kind of like playing around with all these different kind of cards that kind of go off gold energy. I think I'm sticking with Ballista for now because at the very least, it's a 6 strength card on the siege row, because I don't want to crowd up the melee row with a bunch of Redanian Knights, and I don't want to put anything else on the range row because then I take away from my leader ability. So the Ballista is just kind of in that sweet spot, but I wouldn't be opposed to trading out for something else later. Maybe like a Sergeant. No, not a Sergeant. Maybe like a regular Ballista. I don't know, maybe like a siege support. Go for more of this line here. Maybe another promote. I don't know. It's kind of up in the air on that card. But generally speaking, I really like the way I've crafted this deck so far. I'm pretty sure it's unlike any of the deck lists, at least on Gwent DB. So maybe if you're you're venturing into this this deck archetype, I would advise trying this deck archetype first. It's a little bit expensive, sure, but if you have these cards, I would say try it out. Because I don't like the cards that are on Gwent DB. Like a lot of them have like Preveta, whatever it is. I don't have Preveta, and also I don't see it being all that useful. I think it was mostly really good against Consume Monster because then you could clear out those neckers really efficiently. But I have like Roach, I have these infantry, and Preveta's just gonna hit my own cards, you know? Anyway, that's the deck list. I spent a long time going over this deck, my deck list in particular, because I feel like it's relatively unique. And also, you know, just kind of explaining, even just to myself, why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I'm willing to cut later. Yeah. Gwent Henselt. 60% win rate so far. It's looking good. It isn't casual, granted, but I have been playing against a lot of high-ranked people, and I've been winning even against them. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to try this deck list out. Thanks for watching.